when am I going to find myself on a desert island with no one but a pig? Literally, you're being so petty that you're willing to cut your own life short just to spite a vegan. Hi guys, my name is Caroline. I'm an animal rights activist and I make videos about this crazy world where a sandwich is given more value than an actual life. And if you question it and if you don't partake in it, then you're considered an extremist. So if you're a vegan extremist like me, or if you're considering becoming a vegan extremist, then please do click the subscribe button and like this video so that you can see more of my vegan extremist content. Today's video, I want to talk about the 5 things that non-vegans do. Well, it's not just the only 5 things, it's 5 of the things that non-vegans do that make vegans cringe. Big time. So let's get into it. The cringiest thing I've saved for last, by the way. 5. So number 5 is, I love my meat. So you'll be doing activism, or you might even might just, in a conversation, you might say, I'm vegan, or you'll be showing slaughterhouse footage in the streets, or, it'll come up in conversation and someone will say, someone will walk past or whatever and they'll say, I love meat. And you're like, cool story, bro. What do you want a paper hat or a chocolate mouse? But when they add a my to it, when they say, I love my meat, there's something so like, I love my meat. It's almost, it adds this extra layer of like Little Lord Fauntleroy meets a middle-aged man in an adult diaper kind of entitlement. It's just and the thing is, it's not your meat. It never was yours. It came from someone else's body, someone who didn't consent, someone who kicked and thrashed and screamed and fought till their last breath. It's not yours. It was taken from someone else and then you paid for it, all legal tender, whatever, but it's still immoral. So number 4 is someone else, somewhere else though. So when you're talking to someone wants to debate you, or you're out there doing activism and you get into a conversation with someone and they try to get all intellectual with you, like a pseudo intellectual, and they say, well, what about indigenous people though? And well, you're not an indigenous person, are you, Barry from Leighton Buzzard? You live 5 minutes down the road from a Tesco Extra, with infinite plant-based options, because they say, well, indigenous people, they've got to go and hunt, haven't they? And if you asked an indigenous person, if you ever did have a conversation with an indigenous person, they would say to you, please go vegan, because, I don't know, say they live in the Amazon, you're destroying my home with your choices. You can just choose a Beyond Burger, but instead you choose a beef burger. That is quite literally cutting down the forest, and I've been booted out of my native home and I'm now forced to live on the streets because of you and your flipping beef burgers. Number 3 is desert islands though. So this one's been around for a long time. Like I've heard this one for years. Like, but what would you do if you lived on a desert island? What would you do if you found yourself on a desert island with nothing but a pig? When am I going to find myself on a desert island with no one but a pig? When is that scenario ever going to happen? Ever? And how did we get there, me and this pig? Like, were we teleported there? Did I decide to go on a boat trip with this pig for a nice day out, and then the boat capsized and we both had to swim to shore? And if that was the case, how am I going to kill the pig and eat them with these teeth and these hands? I don't have any inbuilt predatory weaponry. Like, if I was a bear, yeah, I'd be able to kill the pig, but I couldn't, because I don't have anything to be able to chase down a pig and kill them with my bare hands. I couldn't do it. So what I'd probably do is, because pigs have the intelligence of a 3-year-old child, I'll probably just play a game of noughts and crosses in the sand with them. But build up some sort of friendship with them until we either both died of starvation or a boat came along and rescued us. And that's what anyone would do, because no one with no tools or weapons could kill a pig with their bare hands on a desert island in the middle of the ocean for some random reason. Okay, number two is I'm going to eat twice as much meat so that a vegan out there isn't making any difference. Now this one makes me laugh because this is so petty. You're like, you're being so petty that you're willing to cut your own life short just to spite a vegan. Like, it's literally cutting your nose off to spite your face, this one. And even if you are doing that, even if you do eat nothing but dead animals so that some vegan isn't making any difference, it kind of balances itself out because you're going to die even younger. So once you're dead, you're not going to be buying any dead animals at all, are you? Whereas if you were eating half that you were before, probably might have lived a little bit longer. Not as long as you would have lived if you were vegan, but maybe you might have lived a little bit longer. So that's a bit silly, isn't it? Number one. Number one is the cringest of all. So I've saved the cringest for worst. So number one is eating meat in front of vegan activists. It's so cringe. So when people do this, I don't know if they think they're being original. They must they must think they're being original. Or if they think they're being edgy, or God knows. But really, all you are is a cardboard cutout of the same 5 people who did exactly the same thing before you. They've even all got the same haircut for some reason. People who do that, I don't know why. Maybe it's an NPC thing. Like, who knows? NPCs will have the same haircut. That little mop bit on the top and then like short at the sides. So when you do that, all I can compare it to is, say, you're at a wake, or a vigil or something serious with with a group of people. It's a serious event and some random goofball walks up to you and thinking he's being funny, genuinely thinking he's being funny and edgy, just sticks his finger up his nose and stands there like, ooh. What do you think of that person? Do you think, oh, that's an edgelord? Oh, you're edgy. Oh, I don't know what to say to you. You've got me now. Or do you think, who let this guy out? This is disgusting. You're embarrassing yourself. Ugh. I'm going to be sick. Because that's basically what happens. That's basically how vegans feel when you stand there eating a murdered baby animal, because we know how disgusting it is. We know how much they suffered. We know about the pathogens. We know about the feces and the blood and the cancer cells and that antibiotic is so dirty. It is so disgusting what you're doing. That literally, that's how you look. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you did watch all the way to the end, then please do leave a comment and let me know what it is that you hear regularly from non-vegans that you find particularly cringe. And I'll see you in the next one.